Hi, my name is Miranda and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to introduce you to a brand new blanket. Drum roll please. Introducing the start of Hazel's sunset blanket. Typically my blankets are very rectangular, but this one is going to be an arch, and at the end of it we are going to put on tassels. So make sure you come back for a tassel tutorial once I finish this. The pattern is available on my website if you want to check it out, and I will let you know exactly how many chain stitches to do, whether you want to make this blanket as a baby blanket, a throw size blanket, or a king size blanket. If you want to see the colors up close, they are beautiful pastel, of course. But now we'll get to how to do this blanket. And as a reminder, make sure that you subscribe to see different video tutorials as well as weekly updates on my other projects. Now I'm going to show you how to start your crochet blanket. So we're going to start with a slip stitch. So how we do that is you're going to take your 3 strands. You will work with them like they are one strand, lay it over your palm and wrap around your finger twice. You're going to take the left loop and put it over the right, and then take the left loop and go all the way over. This is going to create a slip stitch, and this is how we're going to start our blanket. So now we are going to chain. It's important to remember to keep your chain nice and loose so that you don't have bunching. So how you do this is you are just grabbing with your hook and you're pulling this yarn under the loop, the bottom loop. For this example video, I am making this a baby blanket. So now that the chain is done, what we're going to do is we are going to do a half double crochet into one side of our chain stitch, and then we are going to rotate it over and continue to go. To do a half double crochet, you're going to loop. And so right here is the last chain we did. And so we're going to skip that one and go into this. What happens if we try to go into this stitch right here, your blanket will your knot will keep coming undone. So you want to skip that first chain stitch and go into the next. And we're doing a half double crochet. So you loop, go under, loop, back, and you should have 3 on your hook, and then loop and go back again. So you're going to make sure you do it all on one side. So we're going to do it all on this top side here, and then I will show you what to do when we get over here. Now we are going to add 1 more double crochet into that last stitch we just did. And now we're going to flip over to the other side. You want to make sure you can see every individual stitch that we need to be going in on this side, so we'll go through there. But on the first stitch we're going to do 2 different things. One, we are going to add 2 double crochets into this one, but we're also going to make sure that we fold this tail end over and that we crochet that into our blanket to hide those ends. So that was our first one. And then we'll do our second half double crochet. And then we will continue to crochet over. This is the same technique we will do when alternating colors with this blanket. So it's a great technique and saves a lot of time at the end for weaving in. So we will continue to go over our tail end, and then I will meet you at the bottom. From here, what you're going to do is you're going to do 2 chain stitches, and we will begin our next row. In the pattern, there are 2 different effects you can do it. We're going to do one blanket that has the thicker rows, a little bit wider rows, and then we have another one. So when you buy the pattern, you will get the template for both if you want to have smaller, thinner rows or thicker rows like we're going to do for this blanket. We will continue to do a half double crochet up and all the way around, and then we will alternate colors, but that is shown later in this video. Once we get to the second arch, what we are going to do is, again, when it starts to twist, we will make sure that for this row, we're going to put 2 double crochets into each stitch going around. So we will start right here, and so it'll be on the next 4 stitches. So the top 2 and the side, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll add 2 double crochets into those stitches to create the arch on this blanket. So then you can see there is our arch, and then we will continue down this way. So in this blanket, we are doing an arch on one end and the other end will be flat. A reminder that we will be putting tassels on this side at the end of the project. So it's okay if they're a little uneven because we will fix those with tassels and it's going to be a lovely project. When you get to the third row, right as soon as your stitch starts to arch, then you're going to add a 1 double and a single, 2 doubles and a single, 2 doubles and a single, etc. So then that way you can see that right here you did a double and it kind of goes at an angle. If you look at this is how you should be starting it. At an angle like this to create that arch. That way the ends stay nice and straight on the side. So now we are going to work on doing the arch here. So we're going to do one more single, half double crochet, and I will slow that down one moment. So how to do a half double crochet, you're going to loop, go under, loop, back, and you should have 3 on your hook, loop, and then back under all 3. So now for this next one, we're going to do 2 half double crochets in there. So 1, and then we are going to do another stitch into that same one, and that will give us the arch on the top of our project. And how you can tell, you can see here that there's 2 different stitches going into that one, 1 stitch going into that one. And I will meet you right over here to show you what to do going down. So now we are getting to the point where our blanket will go straight again. So at this point we'll put 1 more. So we will put 2 half double crochets there and then continue doing single half double crochets all the way down. A good way to guide yourself to figure out where to go is here is your center, and just think of a V at the top right there. That's from here to here. We should be doing half double, or we should be alternating the increase, but otherwise everything else is going to be regular half double crochets. And this is my progress after working on it for another week or so. I have a couple tips I want to let you know, and so that's why you see me in 2 different outfit changes, and the blanket's a lot further. And I have a couple more tips about how to get your arch to be perfect. Also, a disclaimer, I think at the end of this I will be putting a border on, so come back for a video tutorial of how to put a border on a blanket. I went back and forth between tassels, but I'm not sure with this style yarn, because it's an acrylic yarn, I'm not sure if the tassels will fray or not. So I will play around with that, but I ultimately am going to be doing a border, so come back for a video tutorial on that in like 2 weeks. So now I'm going to give some tips for increasing up here. So when I first started this blanket, I thought that every arch I would have to do 2 half double crochets all around. What ended up happening is it got really wavy at the top. So if that happens to you, you have to offset it. So then I just started doing a row of just single half double crochets and then doing another row of increasing. However, the pattern has been reflected to show you, I learned from my mistakes. So the pattern has been updated to reflect that. Additionally, sometimes what happens when you are doing increases on blankets is it gets really square and boxy. And because this is a rainbow and we want a nice organic arch, what you can do is switch up every other row where you are putting the increases. So on the 11th row, when you are doing a increase in every 10th stitch, instead of adding it where along the line it is, and again there's like an invisible V, and from the V up, that's where you'll be doing the increase. So if you think about it like this, you want to start doing your increase just where it starts curving up. You don't want to be doing it on the sides, but right here is kind of the invisible line, and you can see where some of our increases are. So what I did for the next row is I switched it, so where I was going to increase, I waited 5 more stitches and then started increasing every 10 there. That way you split up where the increase is and you keep a nice arch. I might have to make one more video explaining that, but like I said, this was a trial and error, and I wanted to be transparent that I was trying to figure out how to do this arch and then how to explain it. So I've had a lot of fun playing around with this. If you have any questions, make sure you comment them below and subscribe for more content.